Hi everyone, it's Eleanor. I'm here to do a tag this week. The Booktube Newbie Tag. This was originally done by Belinda C, and I was tagged by Book Your Imagination. It was probably a month or so ago, and I haven't got around to it yet. But you know, I needed something to film this week, so yeah, here's the Booktube Newbie Tag. First question is, why did you start this channel? Well, I originally started the account years ago to post videos from my dance performances to share with my friends and my fellow troupe members. I only ever uploaded a couple, and so yeah, earlier this year when I discovered Booktube, I sort of decided to experiment with since I already had an account, and see if it would be a viable alternative to written reviews, which I never really have gotten the hang of. I love writing, but I just don't seem to have the motivation most of the time, and I found it's a lot easier to just babble up my phone and, you know, let you all talk, you know, and communicate with people by talking. So yeah, that's why I started. Question number 2. What are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? I'm not sure if I'm going to be entirely unique, but most of the other Australian booktubers that I've discovered seem to have a very strong YA focus. And while they do read science fiction and fantasy, they read a lot of mainstream science fiction and fantasy rather than... Well, there's a lot of really good science fiction and fantasy happening in Australia that's not so mainstream. So yeah, I have friendships with some small press publishers, and I go to the writers and fan conventions in Australia, so I think I can offer a bit of a perspective from that side of the Australian science fiction and fantasy book scene. Third question, what are you most excited about for this channel? I'm probably most excited for the ability to just babble about books. I don't have a lot of people I can talk to books about in my everyday life. I've got one colleague who I can babble to books about, but you know, we're restricted because we're at work. So, you know, it's really nice to be able to just sit in front of my phone and blurt out whatever I'm feeling about what I'm reading and be able to express myself like that. So yeah. Question 4, why do I love reading? I love reading because I can lose myself in other worlds. Other characters, you know, things that I can't do myself, things that I'm quite shy of in real life. As much as I love talking, I don't talk much in social situations. So that's probably one of the reasons I love reading stories with witty banter, because I don't really do witty banter myself. But yeah, so that's why I love reading. Question number 5, what book or series got you into reading? I really don't know, to be honest. I have always read, ever since it was my parents reading picture books to me. I've always read, so it's really hard to identify what first book actually had me start reading. But probably I would think The Chronicles of Narnia. The Hobbit was a really significant book for me, but for a lot of that, in the early years, my dad read it to me. But Chronicles of Narnia, I knew it. I knew the story because I used to watch the TV show when I was a kid. But the books were probably some of the earliest ones that I read, like chapter books that I read myself, and really, really loved. So yeah, probably The Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis. Question 6, what question would you ask your favourite booktuber? Now, this is really hard for me because for all that I studied journalism, I actually really hate coming up with questions to ask people. I like listening to people talk, which is why I love Booktube so much and why I love podcasts so much, but I'm really, really bad at coming up with questions. But I would probably ask what book had the most significant impact on them, and at what age it was that they read that book. Because I think that's actually quite a different question to what's your favourite book, although for me they're probably the same answer, but it doesn't necessarily have to be the same answer. And I think it's actually more interesting to see what book was significant and at what age was significant for them for reading. And then the last question, question 7, what challenges do I think starting a booktube channel will be hardest to overcome? And if you've seen any of my previous videos, you probably could tell my complete lack of technical skill. I'm literally talking out my phone, and this will not be edited. I've got no editing skills. Nothing like that. So, no skills with lighting. You'll see that there's just sunlight coming in from the blinds. So yeah, that's complete lack of editing skill. That's what's going to be the hardest to overcome. I don't necessarily need to overcome it, although it would be nice to improve. But I honestly have no idea where to start. So yeah, so that is my answers to the Newbie Booktube tag. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.